On your mark. Get ready. It's time to go the distance. For sports news and sports review, get ready. It's The Pitch.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to The Pitch. As always, I'm your host, John Fox, alongside here with Mitch Sabbatelli and Mike Peps Perrone. Now, jumping right into this episode, it's been a few weeks since the New England Patriots defeated the LA Rams in the Super Bowl 13-3. They win their sixth title since 2001, double dynasty. Now, opening thoughts on this game. We'll start with you, Mitch. Thoughts on this game, opening thoughts, go.
Yeah, I think the big thing about the Super Bowl is the fact that the whole year, the whole thing was overblown about counting the Patriots out. You can't really count the Patriots out, but something that wasn't overblown was the defense. And I feel like Dante Hightower and that defensive line, the McCourty twins, and that defense really, really stepped up that entire game. Everyone always talks about how great the offense was for the Rams and how good their defensive line was. Well, Tom Brady was able to stay back in that pocket, and that offensive line played really well for Patriots and for Tom Brady. Dante Scarnecchia does a hell of a job with that offensive line, and he continued to do it again in that Super Bowl. But that was one of the best defensive performances that I've not only seen with the Patriots
ever
in Super Bowl, but Super Bowl history.
Like, seriously.
And Dante Hightower deserves a lot of credit, but that play with Jason McCourty to come all the way back to stop Brandon Cooks in that big touchdown goes down, in my estimation, as the play of the game and the defensive play of the game. That's the one that I'm going to probably remember. And it was a really good Super Bowl, and it's kind of odd to think that was the first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
It was more than a one touchdown.
It's just crazy to think that was the outcome, that would be the outcome.
Yeah.
Like pre going into the Super Bowl, that would be the outcome. When you have like literally the top three offenses are the Chiefs, the Rams, the Patriots.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think that it was literally 3-3 in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God.
Before we get to Peps, think of the three offenses that they did beat. I mean, Chargers, Chiefs, Rams.
Yeah.
Those are three of the big-time offenses.
Oh, yeah.
And for everyone to say that it is an offensive game, and for the Patriots to play lights-out defense, the Chiefs game was a little bit tough defense, but against the Chargers and against the Rams, that defense really stepped up in a big way.
Yeah, I mean, they did their job in the Chiefs game the first half. I mean, that was key. Shutting out Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah,
shutting out Patrick
I couldn't even
Mahomes
believe that.
At halftime. Yeah. You're up 14-0. You should be up 21-0 at that point because of the Brady pick in the end zone. But, just hats off to the defense in the Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, they had their troubles the second half, obviously, of the Kansas City AFC Championship, giving up 30, 31, 32.
Yeah.
But,
Pat
it's
Mahomes,
just
you can only keep that offense down for so long.
Yeah,
I mean, with the thing with the Rams,
But in the last 4 minutes, there was like 4 lead changes. Like, it's one of the craziest things you'll ever see in NFL history.
The highest projected Super Bowl, it was like the over-under was like 57 points.
Yeah.
The highest projected offensive Super Bowl
16
in the year
points.
of the offense gives us the lowest scoring Super Bowl in NFL history.
Yeah.
13-3, 3 points. I'll be honest, I wasn't sold on this Patriots defense until I started to see them in the playoffs.
Unexpected things so far for Boston sports so far with winning both championships. Unexpected things with the Red Sox. It was the Red Sox bullpen. With the Patriots, it was their defense.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the fourth best team out of the last 4 teams that everybody was talking about. Oh, the Pats are fourth best. They had a good run. Kansas City's favored by 3 in that championship game at home, and everyone's thinking, oh, Mahomes is going to do it to him, and Belichick comes out and just goes right after him, just shuts him right down. They don't even let the biggest thing for the Patriots was they never let the Rams get off the ground in the run game.
Yeah.
The run game was key to the Rams. The Rams are all play action pass. They cannot live on offense without the play action pass. If they don't have that run game, they are absolutely in trouble because there's no way they're going to get the offense off the ground. And the only reason they got any offense, half their yards were garbage time, down by 10 points, throwing to Cooks, throwing to Woods, getting these guys just to try to get a field goal attempt, which they missed anyways.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I got to give it to that defense. That defense was phenomenal. That front four, Hightower coming at him, Van Noy played an unbelievable game. Gilmore with a great pick. McCourty running 20 yards, like you said, in 2 seconds to go stop a play that would have been a touchdown against any other team. But I think it was just a great defensive performance, and the Patriots' O-line is the MVP in this one because they allowed Sony Michel to do whatever he wanted out of the backfield. I think he had over 100 yards. And then Edelman, they couldn't cover. They had no answer for Edelman. They couldn't cover him. I got to give credit, though, to Wade Phillips' defense because Wade Phillips did get to Brady. Brady was not that comfortable in that pocket. He was getting a lot of pressure, but I got to give it up to the final drive of Brady, regardless of the stat line with the one interception, had a phenomenal drive and just carried his team to the end, and Sony punched in. They deserved that win. That was a hell of a defensive game.
I like what you said there, but yes, he got a lot of pressure towards him, but I feel like when you got Stu and Donald, two of the premier defensive tackles of all time here, and for the offensive line to even keep him up remotely,
the O-line's the best offensive line in the league.
Right. I mean, Trent Brown, he was a great hero throughout the whole year. You got Joe Tooney, you got David Andrews, Shaq Mason, and Marcus Cannon. That was an incredible O-line.
They were doubling Donald. He had no chance to get off the ground. They were getting right after him.
It seems like with the last 3 years of the Super Bowls, 2 years ago it was how come the Falcons after the first half just kind of took their foot off the gas pedal and just kind of coasted. Last year was the Malcolm Butler. This year everyone's talking about Todd Gurley. Was he hurt? Did he ride with C.J. Anderson? I know a lot of people are thinking, oh yeah, he was hurt.
I think he was.
Maybe he was checked out.
Yeah.
In my estimation, I think he was somewhat hurt.
They would have played.
But I think Todd McVay was like, listen, when he was healthy, the last couple of games, C.J. Anderson was the bigger guy. Like Peps just said, Julian Edelman was huge, and a lot of people forget that we didn't have Julian Edelman last Super Bowl.
We didn't have Hightower either.
And we didn't have Hightower, who had a huge game. But the one thing, you can say what you want about Brady.
It wasn't anything offensively last Super Bowl.
Right.
Anyways, I mean, we scored 33 points.
Right. One difference,
when you give up 41 points in the Super Bowl, you're not going to win.
They gave up a field goal, and they were celebrating
win.
when they gave up a field goal.
Right.
Yeah.
It was just a field goal.
One difference, though, between last year and this year, Tom Brady was the MVP. One thing this year is, and third down, he was always looking to Gronk and Edelman. He was so clutch on third down throughout the whole playoffs, both Brady and Edelman, and you can throw Gronk into that measure as well.
Gronk is a huge piece of that.
That trio was huge in this offense, and Sony Michel I think is going to help Tom Brady reach his 45.
You ever realize what the Patriots did a lot, especially in the AFC Championship? On third down, they put Gronk to the outside. Mm-hmm. You have their best corner facing him, but Gronk's still got a good half a foot left on top of these corners, and he can move for a big guy. He's going to get down that line like he did in that play that got him to the 2-yard line. And he's always just an emergency safety blanket when they need him the most. That's why it's nice, because he's an unbelievable blocking tight end. Mm-hmm. He gets more credit for catching his passes and making these big plays, but this unbelievable blocking tight end.
Especially against the Chiefs, it was huge.
Oh, it was huge. Sony had a huge game, and I got to give it up to pretty much just the whole team. All around was a great team effort.
Number 6.
So yes.
They deserve that.
All right, moving on, but sticking with you for this one, Peps. Let's hear some thoughts about this Patriots ongoing dynasty, now double dynasty, okay? That's just crazy in itself to hear that. You have like 2 different careers in itself for Tom Brady.
Hall of Fame careers in one.
No, seriously. Thoughts on that, and then after, the second thought is thoughts on Brady saying he has no plans on retiring in the near future. 4 or 5 years from now.
Well,
let's go. Let's hear them.
If you're eating like Brady does, then you're going to be invincible for a while, especially with the O-line being the way it is. He ain't going to get touched. And this day and age, that's why everybody freaks out. They're like, oh, running quarterbacks aren't going to be able to do anything. It's like, if you have a solid offensive line in the year of in the time of passing quick and all that stuff, the reason why his longevity is going to last, he gets the ball out in under 3 seconds every play.
Yeah.
He's just so fast at getting it out. But I think the first dynasty was more geared towards their defense. And I think Brady was just the cherry on top for that one.
Yeah.
Where he got some credit, but he didn't get as much because, that defense was phenomenal. And they were just great as a whole all-around team that came together and played team ball. I think this one makes more of a statement because it's more about Tom, and it's Tom saying, you know what? I was a big part in those games, and I'm going to show you why I am the best of all time. And I think that's what he showed in the Seahawks game and the Falcons game. In this one,
he really showed.
He already had it over the top.
And this
just showed that he's a great team player in this game because he didn't feel the need to have to steal the spotlight from everybody else. He didn't go out and force passes like a Peyton Manning and a Brett Favre and force passes and be like, oh, let me just throw this under triple coverage because it's all about me. Instead, he was like, you know what? I'm going to let my line do the job, let my players do the work, and I'm going to be a complimentary piece to these guys, after I've been a complimentary piece and have gotten the job done for so many years. It's now I'm going to let them help carry me, and then I'm going to do my damage when I need to, and he did. That's
awesome.
What it was.
What I boil it down to 3 different stages in the career, like Peps said, and that was beautiful analysis there. The first third of his career, like Peps said, all defense, and yeah, that's his game manager. That middle, that there was that gap there where Tom Brady, he lost 2 to the Chiefs, and he never really got to that Super Bowl. That was his stats line. He had his Randy Moss, he had his Wes Welker, he was putting up all those
the Giants. You mean.
Yeah, those PlayStation numbers. Stats right there.
Yeah.
The Randy Moss, he was breaking all the records. And now he's put it all together, this last, like Fox just said, his second dynasty here. He's used that combination of being that game manager, controlling the clock. He's not trying to overthrow. He's really, when he needs to make the throw, and that's why he's so good on third down, he'll make that throw. And he's finding his safety blankets. So like Pep says, I think the first third of his career was all about the defense and running. The next was all his stats with the Welker and Moss. And now you're kind of seeing that trifecta of Brady,
it's
Gronk, and Edelman, and now using that Belichick knowledge in the defense. And, they've always had one key thing, and that's a shutdown corner, and I love what
there's 3 stages of Brady's career. Game managing, then blowing people out. Granted, you got the 2 Super Bowl losses, but I'm talking about regular season and the road to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And then the third stage is combining both of those elements. Seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and that's one of the greatest quarterbacks. That's a recipe for one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, which Tom Brady is. You can't dispute it. You can't. You really can't. You can't.
The reason that separates him compared to every other quarterback is like that longevity, and like you said about that TB12 thing. And a lot of people bring up the thing of, if Rodgers didn't get hurt, if Peyton Manning made the playoffs as much as Brady. The big 2 things that Brady does is the fact that he never gets hurt and that he makes the playoffs so often, and that's what discredits guys like Aaron Rodgers and Peyton Manning, and that's what proves why Tom Brady is so great. With all the negativity towards Deflategate, all the negativity towards his early stages of the career, how he is just a game manager, and it really pushes him. And I think that whole longevity thing is making him become the GOAT, and also, how he is so humble. And now him saying that he's going to be playing until 45, I think he can reach that milestone. But the one thing is, and I think this is his big thing, is he has to avoid that catastrophic injury, and I think he will because of how well he's prepared himself with pliability. Yeah. And also, Devin McCourty is back for next season. So.
Top priority for that team, offensive line, make sure it's full like it was this year. But I want to say one thing, because this person gets no credit, and it was a huge signing now that you look back on it, and you won't think of it that way. But this is my personal MVP for this Super Bowl, and it's not anyone you're going to think of, because this person had a huge part in the entire game plan of the opposing team, and that is Brian Hoyer. I don't know if you read that whole story about Brian Hoyer.
I did.
Was a part of the San Fran team. And then he had, with Jimmy G and all that. And then he had, but when he was starting, he also had
he
McVay.
Realized something about
McVay was with them, and
Rams defense, correct?
He realized what he realized was that he went to Belichick, and they were saying this. He said, I know this offense. This offense, I'm telling you right now, the way I'm seeing it right now, this offense is just like the 49ers' old offense that Hoyer ran back when he was in San Fran. So he could predict. Apparently, he was predicting a bunch of the plays they were going to run. He was saying it's all play action. They can't do anything. Yeah. But the fact, I got to say, I feel like that played a huge part in it. Going and signing him as your backup, and he knows that offense. He was in that offense as a starting quarterback.
He looks like he could be a coach as well, yeah.
But I mean, I will say that was just something I remember reading up. I think he deserves a little bit of credit for that, because that's a huge part in it too. With defense knowing what was coming too.
All right, moving on. We'll go to you first on this one, Mitch. Are the LA Rams the favorites in the NFC next season to begin the season?
Well, yes and no. I think a big loss for them was Cooper Kupp. And I think if they had Cooper Kupp, a lot of people thought that Josh Reynolds could just come in there and beat
If they had Cooper Kupp, that would have been terrifying.
Different. Yeah,
tougher,
and he was his security blanket, and what really made Jared Goff really that fantasy icon that he was the first half of the year. Todd Gurley needs to step up and be Todd Gurley throughout the whole year, whether that's missing a couple games, kind of pulling a Gronk and kind of having an injury the first couple weeks and kind of easing yourself in, kind of extend yourself, because you're going to be in the playoffs next year if you're the Rams. McVay is such a good coach, and I think Goff, he has all the tools. I think another couple of years, I think he'll get that the intangibles that Tom Brady and people like that have. Robert Woods, I really like, and I love that defense. I do think they're going to lose Ndamukong Suh, but I think that's the only guy that they're going to lose. I think Cooper Kupp's going to help, and I think the experience is going to help. With that said, I think you have to look at the Saints. I think they were a one bad play away again. I mean, you had the Vikings thing, and now you have this. I think the Saints, one bad play with Roby Coleman, I think they would have been there, and I think they would have given the Patriots a lot. They would have made the Patriots at least change their game plan. I would say the Saints are 1A and the Rams are 1B.
I don't think the Patriots would have been held to just 3 points in the fourth quarter.
I think there's 3 teams.
Entering the fourth
It
quarter.
would have been a higher score.
There's 3 teams in the NFC, and people are, I mean, not they're forgetting, but because they're, they don't have as many superstars, is going to be the Rams, the Saints, and the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks are always in their conversation with Russell Wilson on your side, and the defense actually stepped up towards the end. I mean, if they were a couple of offensive moves away from beating Dallas that game, they should have won. But I'm not sold on the Cowboys. I'm not sold on the Vikings. Those are 2 fraud teams to me. I'd say it's got to be Saints with the Rams and the Seahawks.
Did you hear? Did you hear the potential, the rumor that Russell Wilson could go to the Giants?
No.
You didn't hear that trade rumor?
That would actually be pretty disgusting.
That would be, yeah.
I did hear about Odell Beckham
possibly
coming to the Patriots.
I did hear that. I've heard also the obvious AJ Green report, which would be a great acquisition. I mean, looking at it this way, I mean, the Bengals just suck.
Well, we have to wait. We have to wait one more week because Gronk said he's going to make his announcement in 1 week.
All right, that's actually something that I want to talk about next.
Ahead.
So, do you think Gronk will hang up the cleats? Or will he come back for 1 or 2 more seasons?
Well, I think Devin McCourty, like I just said, he is coming back, so I think that means Jason's going to come back. I think Rob Gronkowski, it's going to be kind of like a year-to-year type thing. If I had to guess,
he's going to come back.
I think he's going to come back for 1 more season.
I think he's going to come back because something that was different with this year than previous years with Rob Gronkowski is that they managed him well. Mm-hmm. He missed only,
he wasn't never really hurt the whole year.
Yeah, they held him out for a few games. In your mind, you're like, he was out 5 or 6 games. He was only out for 3 games this year. He was just...
but they kept him on a snap count.
He was just underutilized. Yes, correct. They had him on a snap count. You look at Rob Gronkowski's years when he's fully healthy. You see these 1,000-plus yard seasons with at least 13 to 15 touchdowns. This year, played 13 games, 680 yards, 3 touchdowns. He was pretty much put in the rearview mirror, I think, for the playoffs.
Yeah, he's like that car that you leave in the garage and you pull it out for that one summer month, and everybody's like, wow, that is a really nice car.
Same with Edelman. They should do the same thing with Edelman every year.
Edelman's just a machine.
Send your buddy Gostkowski, by the way.
Oh, God.
As far as Gronkowski goes...
Gronkowski, you are like the Craig Kimbrell of the Patriots this year.
Very similar to Tom Brady, how he has the TB12 thing. Gronk also has that Gronk fitness thing coming out with all his brothers and everything.
I'm sorry, I like Gostkowski, but these last 3 years, 3 or 4 years, man.
He's still real good. He's still very good.
He had a clutch kick on the Rams.
He's still very good.
He had a clutch kick, but all 3 kicks literally almost missed left. I
think Gronk's going to go 1 more year and then retire. Because apparently there's a video that was I want to help Brady get 7 or something, whatever that I heard was supposedly out there. But
I think
he's going to stay.
I think the Devin McCourty thing and also Tom Brady saying that he's going to try to play to 45. I think Gronk's going to, but he's going to come back. And remember
that's our last topic. Hold
on one second.
Can the Pats repeat? Keep going.
When Gronk said last year, he said, I'm going to be back. I'm going to see what happens. I think this year he's going to say, I'm going to come back for 1 more year. And I think he's going to make that announcement that this is going to be his last year. As far as repeating goes.
Can the Pats repeat? Can the Pats get to 4 straight Super Bowls?
They definitely can repeat. They definitely can get to 4 straight Super Bowls. But, I mean, it's a matter of who you're going to keep around and what you're going to keep around you. I mean, that's a matter of the pieces that are around you.
Yeah, I think they can repeat, absolutely. And as far as the AFC goes, I think the NFC is a little overrated. I think the one team that scares me, obviously, Pittsburgh's going to get worse. I think Houston, there's just something there with Houston.
Well, now with Pittsburgh, Antonio Brown leaving, Le'Veon Bell.
There's always something there with Houston there, either Deshaun Watson or Billy O'Brien. Jacksonville, even if they get Nick Foles, it's not going to be there. Chiefs are the big issue.
There was a funny meme that I saw. They were like, it said Big Ben, Le'Veon Bell, Antonio Brown, with the wide-eyed emoji. Imagine if these people were on a team together. Yeah. So much wasted potential. So much wasted potential. I mean,
watch out for the Indianapolis Colts too, because they're going to get better.
Yeah.
they need a couple.
I mean, you can only go up from last season.
They're going to get another receiver. They're going to get a big-time running back.
Let me put it this way: if I have to predict here, I think the Patriots are going to do a couple things. I think they're going to bring back Danny Amendola because he's going to get caught by Miami. I think Gronkowski's going to play for one more year, and I think they're going to get Golden Tate, and they're going to be reloaded.
Yeah, Golden Tate would be insane. Golden Tate would be,
in my opinion,
Golden Tate would be the best acquisition because he fits. He's Tom Brady's guy. He's a little route runner. I mean, he is literally the epitome of what Tom Brady looks for in a wide receiver.
Yeah.
AJ Green would be second, I'd say, like the second most probable thing to happen if it happened.
What about Julio?
I don't think
Julio.
I don't know.
Maybe. Why not?
I don't know if he's.
OBJ is out there, but I think the thing is.
I thought Julio was out there. No,
no, they're gonna keep. They have him under control.
That'd be sick.
Belichick would love him.
They're only gonna target AJ Green if Gronk retires, though. If that makes sense.
Okay, that makes sense. All right. We good?
Yep.
We good with NFL?
Yep.
Good with the Super Bowl? All right, here we go. Moving on to MLB. Spring training is here, and in the last week, a big news. Manny Machado. Yeah. We had reports that he was looking at the Yankees, he was looking at the White Sox. Pulls a curveball, signs a $300 million deal, 10 years with the San Diego Padres, of all teams. Thoughts on this? We'll start with you on this one, Peps. Thoughts on this huge signing, this life-changing $300 million. I mean, his life was already set as it is, but $300 million.
I think it's going to be a pretty great time to be Manny Machado. What are you in middle late 20s? You get $300 million, and you get to stay in.
That pitching staff is a joke.
And you get to stay in California during the prime of your career and just do whatever you want and get paid money to just do whatever.
Beautiful San Diego.
I think it's a great signing. Personally, I woke up and around like 10, 11 o'clock, I looked at my phone. I'm like, oh great, the Yankees didn't get another guy. That's awesome. I think it's great to see an actual team that's not really talked about much actually getting their guy. And I think they pretty much were like, all right, him or Harper, we're gonna outbid everybody, and we're just gonna steal one of them no matter what.
Yeah, I got some fake news.
And they got Machado, and I think that was a very good signing for them. For a possible up-and-coming team, but not looking like it anytime real soon. But I got some. Sorry to cut you off, but I got some fake news a couple weeks ago that Machado was nearing a deal with the New York Yankees. So this is kind of like a non-shout out to Bob Madar. So I get a text message, Manny Machado signing with the Yankees. I'm like, oh. That's potentially very bad. Now he's got the chance to be a face of a franchise with the Yankees. I don't think he gets that full opportunity to be the face of the franchise.
No, definitely not.
San Diego, it's way better weather, and he gets paid a lot of money. I'm sure he's very happy.
And he doesn't have to live up to any expectations.
No expectations. Seriously. In a franchise that's not. I think it was
classic Manny Machado.
It was a very, very smart business decision. I think it was a very smart business decision. I don't think he cares as much about winning. He cares more about getting paid, getting his numbers.
What do you think about the San Diego Padres lineup?
Well, I haven't even said anything.
Sorry, Mitch. Sorry.
But I think it's a good signing for both. So
I'm just kidding.
No input.
Before I get to MLB, and again, MLB is my favorite topic. I just want to say, rest in peace, Nick Cafardo. You were awesome, and he just passed away. But we're just going to go on. Manny Machado, there's a couple reasons why I love this move. And again, what Peps was trying to say, it's huge for parity in this league. I think it kind of gives everyone. The NL West has been so bad for so long. The Dodgers have been pretty decent. The NL is not that great. But Manny Machado signs this deal at 26. And you look at the Padres' current roster, and the lineup is kind of boring. You have Hosmer in there. They have the best farm system in the game. Joe Lucchesi looks like he's going to be an ace this year, kind of like on the Aaron Nola type track. They have Mackenzie Gore, and they have the best farm system with Fernando Tatis coming over there at the shortstop. You have Machado. You have Franmil Reyes now. You got
Will Myers.
You got Will Myers still. You got
if he can stay healthy.
Hosmer. This guy Austin Hedges looks good, and they have a great bullpen coming up. I love this move. So I think their whole trajectory here was since he's 26, by the time he gets to 30, they're going to have a stacked team, and that's the reason why they gave him this 10-year deal. And I think also, I love how Machado was also saying, like, oh, yeah, they have a great farm. He doesn't care. It's all about the money for him. Also the weather. San Diego is going to be great, and that ballpark's awesome. So I think this is going to attract other players. And people think that they still have enough money for Bryce Harper. They don't. Bryce Harper's going to go to the Phillies.
That's what we're going to talk about next. Why is Bryce Harper still unsigned?
I think
it's almost March, folks.
Yeah,
what's going on?
If you remember last year, JD Martinez didn't sign with the Red Sox until February 19th, so we're past that, and that felt like so long. Now, the reason why Bryce Harper isn't signed yet is because They were waiting for that one big chip
Bryce
to
Harper
fall.
signs with the Padres.
And again, you still have Dallas
They
Keuchel.
already spent their whole payroll.
Yeah, you have Dallas Keuchel, you have Craig Kimbrell there, and they were still waiting for that big chip to fall. Now, this was huge news for Bryce Harper because as soon as he figured out that he was going to get $30 million, Harper projects to be a better player in the next 10 years, younger, a little bit, probably more, has a little bit more endorsement type deals here coming his way. So he's going to demand that same contract, and the only team that can give him that money right now is the Philadelphia Phillies. So that was huge news for Bryce Harper. But the reason why he remains so unsigned is because nobody really knew what the market was because there was no other big free agent. Now Machado set that market for him, and I think he's going to get signed in the next week.
Yeah, he's going to get. I think he's going to get. Yeah, I think maybe he won't. I don't know if he'll get 10 years, but I mean, I feel like he'll get more money for a little bit less years.
I feel like 6.
We're talking like eight year, like
6 or 7
$320
years.
million or something.
I think I'm guessing 280 at 8.
280 at 8.
Yep.
Okay.
With the Phillies.
All right. Do you guys want to move on?
Yeah, let's skip NBA. Let's keep going.
All right. So Mitch wanted to put this in here. Quick NCAA hoops talk. Number 1 Duke falls to UNC. And a funny thing, this isn't funny. Zion sprains his knee. But
it's a good rhyme
thoughts
Yeah.
Thoughts on why? Why did that happen,
fan,
Mitch?
And I will say that Zion Williamson is the best college player. I mean, Anthony Davis was out there, but the best college player I've ever seen. I know there's Kobe Bryant out there coming from high school. You got LeBron coming from high school, and there's never really been that college talent. You got guys like Obama coming to this UNC versus Duke game. People were paying $3,000 a ticket to see this specimen of Zion Williamson in national TV, and he puts on these Nike shoes, and they just completely explode. And now everyone's trying to sue ESPN, sue UNC and Duke to try to get their money back. But this kid is a talent, and I heard a rumor out there that now because he got injured, I would keep him out. I want Duke to, not only because of Duke fan, I want Williamson to come back out there. There's so much good for your stock if you win a national title in college, and Zion's going to easily do that. It's going to put March Madness back in the map, and I want to see Zion come back soon.
Yeah, but the thing is, the reason why they probably wouldn't want him to come back soon is because they want to save their investment for his future, obviously.
Yeah, exactly.
Want something really detrimental to happen to his knee. Could be really bad. He could have constant knee issues, like someone like Kyrie Irving.
And then he's going to drop in the draft.
So you want to make sure he's fully healed. A big investment for that.
But I think he'll be back, and I think he's going to go number 1. I think he's going to go Knicks.
Okay. All right. So we have a few 2 minutes to close this show. So I figured we start off with the good news at the beginning of the episode. So now we're just going to briefly talk about something right now that's the story is still in the works right now. So we're trying to get full on information about it. But Robert Kraft earlier this morning was arrested. Now, what was the
allegedly?
Yes.
Allegedly,
well, no, he was arrested. That's what.
No, he was definitely arrested.
It's something like if you see us laughing or smirking, we're not laughing at any of the potential crimes that he was arrested for or any of the seriousness of that. It's just
a nervous laugh.
It's so
a touchy topic.
It's so bizarre.
Yeah.
It's so bizarre that you don't know how to deal with that. I mean, I feel like this keeps popping up with the Patriots.
Well, a couple of people that love this news is Roger Goodell, Max Kellerman, and Rob Parker, because they're just going to go hard about how all this stuff's going to come back.
So
to the Patriots.
the arrested charge is for what? Soliciting prostitution.
But
it was
also
arrested in
human
Florida
trafficking.
earlier today.
Potential human trafficking, like underground.
We're obviously
thing
this is in its infancy. It's going to come back
It's
out.
in its infancy,
and
as
stuff,
Mitch said. That's best as put it.
Yeah,
but
it's pretty bad.
So this place, I don't know.
And to come
Asian origin or something it's called, and they have some. People think that there might be some human trafficking there. And the big issue here with Robert Kraft is that he went back a second time. So we knew that it first happened, and then went back a second. So when he has that 2 accounts, it's not at the one time.
Yeah, you can't be doing
a
that.
second time. But
yeah, we don't condone any of this stuff. It's horrible. I think it's just I think the way the
It's
justice
shocking.
process
It's
is going to
purely
happen
shocking.
is the way it's going to happen. And I think hopefully it all gets sorted out soon, and just everything gets settled. And
it won't get sorted out. People will go.
It's stuff's going to come back.
Yeah, it's gonna
but I'm saying it gets sorted out, and the rightful justice process gets taken for this.
On a joking note, we're losing picks like every minute.
Oh yeah, I mean,
this show is going on.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Just a joke. All right. So that pretty much sums up this episode of The Pitch. Be sure to follow us on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. Like us on YouTube. Follow us on YouTube. Subscribe. Vimeo. The works. And until next time, you're watching The Pitch.
Unequivocally the best show ever.